boys and girls. I am teaching you something kind of tricky in reading. It's called analyzing. I've never taught this before, so I'm really super excited to work on it. So let's first talk about what analyzing means. That's what this anchor chart says right up here, okay? And I put some little pictures to help us understand this big word. So first I have like a little person that's thinking, and they're thinking of the word analyzing, okay? Because analyzing does take a lot of thinking. I also drew a magnifying glass and an eye, because when you're analyzing something, you're looking really closely at it, okay? And you're thinking, looking closely and thinking. And we are going to be looking closely and thinking about text. So text would be books, any type of book. We're going to be thinking closely about it, okay? So one way we can analyze a text or think deeply about it or closely is to look at the genre. We've already talked about that, right? So you could pick up a book and you could tell me what genre it is. You could say if it's fiction, if it's nonfiction, if it's a folk tale, a fantasy, a realistic fiction, if it's a biography, if it's poetry. You guys can already analyze a book that way because you can tell me about its genre, okay? And that's why I brought this old poster up, okay? Well, I'm going to tell you another way you can analyze text. You can notice that the author told the story in time order, okay? So there's different ways that an author could tell a story in time order. So let's talk about that. They could use words like first, second, third to show you that things are happening in a specific order, okay? They could also just talk about time of day, like morning, afternoon, night, or they could even just show you that through the illustrations, okay? They might talk about the seasons. So Mrs. Kimmel picked a few books that I feel like really show you how time order happens, okay? So I'm going to pick up each one of these books and I'm going to show you how I can analyze it and notice that it's a book that shows things happening in a time order. But then I'm going to analyze it even deeper and I'm going to say what genre it is, just so that you can see me practicing how to analyze a book. I'm looking closer. All right, here's the first one I'm going to analyze. I'm going to pick one that we already know. The Napping House, okay? Let's notice how it's happening in time order, okay? I picked this one specifically because it shows a rainstorm. The words do not say anything about time. It says there's a house, a napping house where everybody is sleeping. And then it talks about the cozy bed, okay? It's not using any time words in the writing, but look at the pictures. I'm just gonna turn, look at the pictures. Specifically watch the window. You see the storm? Watch the window. Keep watching. Oh, watch the window. Hard to kind of tell, but look at the color coming out of the window. Look at all the bright light coming from the window. Notice what has happened to the storm. Look at what has happened outside. This story is told over the course of a rainstorm, right? It starts with everybody napping in the rain, and slowly the storm goes away and it's sunny and everybody wakes up. It is told in a time order based on a storm, and only the illustrations are telling me that in time order. So I have analyzed that this story is going in order by looking at the illustrations. Ooh, that's good analyzing. Okay, now let's talk about the genre of this book. This book is definitely fiction. It is not a folk tale. It is not a fantasy. Realistic fiction, do I really think all these animals are going to pile up on top of each other and take a nap? Probably not. So I would just call this a basic fiction book. Okay, so there we go. I analyzed it two ways. Let's look at another one. This book is called Cookies Week. I'm going to actually read this one to you because I don't think I have read it to you before. On Monday, Cookie fell in the toilet. There was water everywhere. On Tuesday, Cookie knocked a plant off the windowsill. There was dirt everywhere. On Wednesday, Cookie upset the trash can. There was garbage everywhere. On Thursday, Cookie got stuck in a kitchen drawer. There were pots and pans everywhere. On Friday, Cookie ran into the closet before the door closed. There were clothes everywhere. On Saturday, Cookie climbed in the curtains. And Cookie went everywhere. Tomorrow is Sunday. Maybe Cookie will rest. And the picture shows me I don't think he's going to rest. So in this book, it did go in a time order. Did you notice? It went through a week because it told me the days of the week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So the author wrote this book going in time order over the course of a week. Okay? This book is definitely a fiction book. Is it a folk tale? No, this is not a story that's been passed down over time. Is it a fantasy? No. Realistic fiction? Yes, because a cat could really do all of these things. And he's not talking in this book. So I would say this book could be a realistic fiction. Okay? I could probably give it some other names like a pattern book, but we'll talk about that another time. Okay, let's look at another book. I think I've read you this one before, but I can't remember. It is called The Grouchy Ladybug, and it fits perfect with what we are doing in math because it also talks about time, like on a clock time. So this Grouchy Ladybug is here, and it says, it was night, okay? And the fireflies are dancing. Now, if you look here, it's going to even show us a clock saying that it's 5 o'clock. And it says, at 5 o'clock in the morning, the sun came up. And it tells what the ladybug did. And they say good morning, and he wants to fight this other ladybug. He's a grouch. If you look here, this is an awesome book. It goes in time order. It starts at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. And if you notice, the sun is rising, and it's up at the top at noon, and then it's going down as the sun sets. This book is definitely going in time order. It is going in order with the sun and by hour. So we could analyze this book in that way. Now, this book has a ladybug who is talking to other animals and wants to fight them. That is definitely fiction. It is not a fantasy. It is not a folk tale. It is definitely not realistic. We're just going to label this one fiction. So I have analyzed this in 2 different ways. I noticed the time order and how the author is telling the story, and I noticed the genre. Okay, last, this one's a little different. Okay, so I've got a craft book. I'm going to just choose one craft. I'm going to start right here. These are Easter crafts. Okay, the Easter Bunny picture. It says this is what you will need. First, you're going to draw a picture around a plate. Second, you're going to cut a wavy line. Third, you're going to cut 6 bunny shapes. Fourth, and it keeps going with these numbers. This book is going in order of how you need to do it. It is giving steps. This is a how-to book, isn't it? You know this because we wrote one. So that is already analyzing. We notice that this is a how-to book that is being told what to do in steps. We're noticing that because we're analyzing the text. We also notice that this is a non-fiction text. It is a teaching book. It is teaching me how to do something. Okay? I am going to try to find a book for you on Epic that will have some type of time order in it. I want you to notice the time order and be able to tell me where it is. I told you in all of them. One of them had to do with a rainstorm. One of them was the days of the week. One of them was a clock with the sun. And the other one was going in steps because it was a procedure book. But then I also want you to tell me the genre, just like I did, okay? So whatever book I put on the student page from Epic, you are telling me how it's going in time order and the genre, okay? Because you are analyzing the text. You are looking and thinking closely about it, okay?